Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in again. So today I'm going to make another skirt. I'm going to be making one of the maxi skirts that I do see a lot on Pinterest. It's using the Dashiki fabric, otherwise known as the Angelina fabric. It like has a bold pattern in the middle and then like border patterns around it. So I'm going to be using an orange one that I think is simply so cute for summer. So the things that you're going to need is your fabric. Now you don't have to use this, you can use whatever fabric you want to, but this is the look I'm going for. Some pins, scissors, and measuring tape. So since it's a maxi skirt, we're not going to be doing much fitting except for around the waist area. So usually with African material, they have it folded in yards. So when you go to buy one of these, if you do decide to buy that African material one, it's gonna come in 6 yards. So how you know you have them in yards is by the fold. So this right here is 1 yard, 2 yards, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6 yards. So for my skirt, I'm going to be using 3 yards. So how I'm gonna measure 3 yards is, so this is gonna be my first yard, second yard, and this is gonna be my third yard. So I'm gonna cut down this crease right here, and that will give me an even 3 yards out of the 6. So now I have 3 yards here, 3 yards there. Okay, so now I have my 3 yards. So this is where your measuring tape comes into place. You want to measure from your waist, because I'm making a high-waisted maxi skirt. So you want to measure from your waist all the way down to your feet. So let's see, wrong side. For me, I think it's 42 or 41 or something of that sort. So here, right here, and your waist is where your stomach indents. So since you're doing it yourself, it's better to stop at certain places so you can get a better accurate measurement of your waist. Okay, so to the ground, I'm getting 41 inches. So you want to make sure that you have enough with the bands to equal 41 inches. So right here I have 44.5 inches. So 3 inches can go towards my hemline and the band. So let's see. If I was to hem this much of the dress at the bottom, would I have enough to make a waistband? Yes, I should. I will have enough to make a waistband, because this right here, right over here, right here is 41 inches. So I can actually cut this right here and use this part as my waistband. Since the pattern kind of lines up on each other, I can just cut straight across instead of opening it and cutting the whole 3 yards. So there you go. I cut straight across and no mistakes happen. So this is going to be the top of my skirt right here. So now we have the fabric for the skirt and the fabric for the waistband. So with the needle and thread, you're basically just gonna go in and out of the fabric, giving a good amount of allowance. And out, in and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, around the whole perimeter of the skirt. Now your in and out spaces don't have to be even. When the thread just goes in and out, and when you pull on it, it causes it to gather. So that's the effect that we're trying to create. It's at this point in the process that you want to measure your waist and make sure you know exactly where your gathers need to stop and end so that you have an even distribution of the gathers throughout the perimeter of your waist. Here I secured the width of the waist by tying a loop around the fabric and keeping the thread in place.
Please wait.
So now that we went ahead and finished making the gathers, we want to take the piece that we cut off the bottom of the skirt and then measure your waist out. So I measured out my waist and it was 27.5 inches. So what I did was I measured 30 inches across to give myself a 2.5 inch allowance. I could have sworn I measured 30. Look. 30 inches across. Okay, to give yourself a 2.5 inch allowance. And I folded the fabric, so it's technically really 60 inches, but I folded it in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the top part. I'm going to make this part right here the top part of my band. So I'm going to sew across it to seam it together. So after you finish sewing the top ends together, make sure you cut the fold. But you're going to open it up and you're going to flatten it. And just examine it to see which part is going to face the world. So this part right here is what I feel like is going to face everyone. So this is where I'm going to connect my skirt. So when you open it up, you leave it that way, because mind you, after you sew it, you're going to flip it and it's going to show the right way. You're going to have the wrong side of your skirt facing upwards. Now what I do want you to do is pin where you're going to place the skirt. So this right here is 29 inches. So this is basically where I want my skirt to begin. And this is about where it should end. And just arrange and pin it to the edge of your waistband. Then we're ready to sew it. So now we've sewn our waistband to the gathered part of the skirt. So when you flip it around, it's going to look like that now. So we're going to bend this part in right here and and sew that. We're gonna sew this part right here to the inside right here. Okay, so after sewing the other part of the waistband down, this is what it should look like. So it's basically covered up the gatherings. So now we're gonna sew the skirt closed and put a zipper on it. There you have it. I've sewn a zipper onto the skirt and I've closed the end off. So now we have ourselves a Dashiki print maxi skirt, or an Angelina print maxi skirt. So if you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. And once again, thank you for tuning in. If there's anything that I skipped or I didn't make clear in the tutorial, mind you, once again, I am a beginner, so there are certain things that I'm not too good with. But I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have or go over what I may have done off camera. So until we meet again, bye, and thanks for watching.